Hey guys, what I'm doing now is I'm doing the Infistar custom script PBO that I've modified. The script itself allows you, based on how it's set up, to spawn in 3 different rides. Default, the script always used model the world and spawn the vehicle on the ground. I went through and rewrote it so that the vehicle that spawns in, not only does it spawn perpendicular to the player like you see this, it will spawn currently 3 meters in front of the player no matter which direction they're facing. So, and also as you see it sitting there now, the default Infistar script will delete the previous vehicle and place a new one in your facing. I've rewritten it a couple times, but the final version is simplified by a lot. I was able to figure out how to remove a bunch of if check gates and a bunch of calculations that I was doing to make it work. But basically, the script itself spawns on the ground terrain level, no matter if you're over the ocean or not. It spawns a Invisi helipad as a placeholder, and then it finds the surface using the get position ASL, and it spawns another placeholder as a reference and deletes the original ground holder. The reason I did this is once I get something spawned at ocean surface level, it's easier to do the calculations and not have to worry about a bunch of changes. But as you can see, it does work, and it will spawn a vehicle in if you want at that level, or even the boat that I have will spawn in. But I wrote this because I was having issues with the trader I built. This is the Cantina trader. The idea of this trader is to have this is the only safe zone on the map, and players are able to come here and buy items at a slightly discounted rate versus other traders that they'll find on the map. There will be black market traders here where, because anybody knows what I'm doing on my server, I'm creating different factions using the humanity script that Scotty D gave me. At the beginning of the game, players will be able to choose their faction, and then it'll either be green, blue, or red factions, basically. And then they can come here and buy, say they're a red player, which currently my faction is Rebellion, I'm blue. Anything over 5,000 faction switches over to the Rebellion side. Anything below 5,000 down to negative 5,000 is green, and then anything negative 5,000 and below is red. But they'll be able to come here and say, I'm a blue player, I want some red items. I can come here and find a black market trader and buy opposite team stuff if I want, but it's going to be at a increased pay cost. But what I want to show here is it works. It's always going to be perpendicular to you, and the reason it's bouncing is it's not actually spawning. That it was not spawning there. It's using a move to position. It's moving to the placeholder that I got. For some reason, I can't figure out why, but these Star Wars objects, which is what gave me the most trouble, these Star Wars objects, the calculation would never be accurate. It would either spawn way in the sky or below me and blow up. So I was finally able to find a workaround. But the biggest reason I did this is for you Australia guys. Anybody wanting to build on their these oh man, I mean, I'll climb up. I don't have to climb up a stupid ladder. Well, actually, I don't have to. Most likely. Let's see if I'm right. Nope. Oh, that'll give you guys a good laugh. Apparently, there wasn't enough room there. So let's try it over here, and let's see if we can actually get on the helipad. I thought it had enough room. That thing's just a little bit too big. So we're going to come over here, and I know this is getting kind of a lengthy video. Appreciate you guys watching. But if I'm right, you now have the ability on any structure, knowing the facing of the object you're spawning in, or knowing where it's going to spawn in based on the script I wrote, it will either face left or right depending on where you're at. If you're facing close to anything, roughly what it does is it finds the player facing, and for example, this one's 310 and it adds 90 to it. If it adds 90 to the player's original facing and it goes over 359.9, then it, instead of adding, it subtracts, which is why it reverses depending on which way you're facing. So anything 0 and up will rotate to the right, and anything roughly 271 or higher will rotate to the left. Other than that, that is the script. I may do something about the boat where if I'm up here, the boat will spawn in the ocean, but currently it's as is. I mean, worst case scenario, I'm guessing. Let's test it and find out. Well, you better not be on the ocean floor when you on the ocean surface when you spawn in a boat. But you saw it worked. And if anybody knows anything about this is, I guess this is the Halo boat. I'm not sure what boat this is, but it's got a couple different cool things on it. But if you're over on land, just for the sake of me testing and showing off at the same time, if you're over on land, it should also work properly, which I haven't tested on land. I've been concentrating on the ground, which it does. And you just saw it rotate to the left because I'm over 371 or 271, and the boat didn't delete. That's interesting. That's a good test. Didn't know about that. And then what's my facing now? My facing is, let's just do 0 or close to 0, and it should rotate to the right, which it did. So I don't know why the boat didn't delete. That's kind of interesting to me. That's worth a test. But at least I know it worked. I'm not sure why that didn't pack up, because it's supposed to. Maybe it's because it's a boat versus a vehicle. But it still packs like it's supposed to. That's pretty cool. Hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'm gonna post the file in the duck server, DVK. I'm just calling it ducks. It looks like it's easier to say than DVK, DVCK, but it'll be in the chronic shared files. Thanks for watching, guys.